Doug Franklin again with you to talk about lesson 2 of Act, Love, Walk. In our first lesson, we talked about what does it mean to act justly, to do what is right, no matter when or where we are. It's a really important concept for students to understand that this desire to act justly goes far beyond where we are or who we're with. It goes to how much we love God. And this session is about loving mercy. It's really interesting. I think when we talk to students about this concept of love mercy, what they hear is, okay, I am supposed to forgive other people. I'll do it, but I don't want to. Or I'm willing to forgive that guy. He's a jerk, but I'll do it. No, that's not what the Lord is saying here. What God is saying is that we are to love mercy. Love it. Not just do it begrudgingly, but actually love it. Love to show mercy to other people. And the reality about this is that when we think about forgiving others who transgress against us, we oftentimes think about what we have to do. And the truth here is what we want to do in this lesson is we want to get students to think about what God has done for us. That's the only way to love mercy. When I look at God and the fact that he left his heavenly throne and he came here to live on earth, to live in this mucky darkness and mess, to live through all the disappointments and the heartaches and all the temptations of sin, he did that for me because he loved me. For God so loved the world that he sent his son. That love is to be my example. He climbed up on a cross 2,000 years ago and died for me when I hadn't even sinned yet, when I hadn't even been born yet. He died for me. What great love is this that God has for us? When I start to look at who God is and what he has done for me, you know what? I can start to get behind mercy. I can start to actually think about loving it. And so what we've got to do in this lesson is get this obligation off of students and get them to understand what God has really done for them. And when they see his great love and they understand it, then they can begin to understand what he said about love mercy, because he's loved mercy. And he shows us that mercy in how he loves us. And so for us, we want to help them understand this, that God has got a great dose of mercy for us, and that compels us to love mercy and offer it to others. There's the same 5 sections in this small group. There's the questions, the follow-up questions. They'll be on page 12. You'll want to get your students there and talk about some of those things to get you warmed up into this lesson. There's a great story about an Amish village that forgave someone who broke into their village and killed a bunch of kids. And not only did they forgive, but they took some of the money that was donated to them and donated it to the widow of the shooter so that they could demonstrate how much they love mercy. An unbelievable story. And then in the Go Deeper, there's 3 great passages that you can really look at that can really help you understand God's mercy for us and how that compels us to love mercy and to offer it to other people. There's a really neat game in the Live It Out section. It's a little challenging. Students are going to get a little frustrated. That's okay. That's what's going to happen. Hold to it until they stop and ask for help. Because for us in our society today, asking for help has become the last thing we do. And we want to understand that when someone asks us for help, what we do is we understand their frustration. We understand the struggle that they're going with, and we offer them mercy. Applying it here is going to be really interesting, I think, and is going to lead to some great discussion. Don't let students just wiggle out with a simple application. Help them to really think about what does it mean to be a follower of Christ in this area. I know for me in my own life, this is one of the greatest struggles that I have. I'm a black and white person. I see things black and white. You do things right or you do things wrong, and you deal with the consequences. And God breaks into my thinking and says, Doug, you are to offer mercy. In fact, you're to love to offer it. So much so that you throw it out in benevolence. You can't wait to offer it to people who need it. And for me, it's been a great struggle, and I think for many of your students, it'll be a great struggle as well, too. Challenge them in this area of making applications to love mercy and to show it to everyone. I pray that this session will be a powerful one for not just your students, but also for you. As you struggle with this in your own life and think about what it means, I ask you to get really vulnerable with students and be personal with this and really share your struggles in loving mercy as well too. I think it'll help students really understand what this means.